So I was talking with Craig over at Fun Billiards and Game Room Superstore, and he was telling me there is a enormous amount of scammers right now stealing his pictures and info off of his website and his Facebook page and posing to be a pinball sales company. So I'm going to take you through start to finish how this scam works in real time with a real scammer who is trying to get my money. I've also produced a video with Craig, and I'll link it in the eye above. Craig kind of walked you through some of the scams and things to look out for when buying a pinball machine online. So check that out if you haven't seen it already. So let's get to the scammer here. So today's scammer is Dan's Pinball Machines Marketplace. And what this page has done, he has stole quite a few pictures from Fun over there, including, customer sales pictures and what they have for sale on the floor. And if you look closely in some of these photos, Craig has watermarked a lot of his newer photos, and you can see they didn't even bother trying to cover up the watermark. It's still on a lot of these photos. So if you're browsing some of these Facebook pages that are selling pinball machines, that is, look at when the page has been created. This one was created August 14th of this year. They have about 5 people liking it and about 6 people following it. So that's a red flag right there. Brand new page, lots of content that was posted just recently in the last few days. Another red flag to look for is the email address. You can see right here, this is just some sort of random Gmail address. Normally a business's email, even if it is a Gmail address, it'll have their name somewhere in the email address. So that is red flag number 2. So under the response time, it says he's very responsive. I'm sure he is. He wants to scam people as much as he can during the workday. So let's send him a message and see what he has for sale. So sure enough, about 5 minutes later, I get a response. And he also asks, where am I located? This is key for the scammer, because if you say, hey, I'm in Dallas, he will say, oh, okay, well, I'm in Louisiana or some state that's not too far away, but not close to you. The reason is they never want you to come to their location to see the game in question. So at this point, I have to make a decision how I respond. First off, I'm going to give him a vague answer like I'm in the Midwest with no state really being disclosed. So he has to pick something that's in the Midwest area. And then I just came up with a random game like Funhouse because those don't come up very often for sale. And sure enough, he has one for sale, only $2,000. Wow, that is an amazing deal for a Funhouse. How could I not pass that up? And then he sends me some pictures here. And if you look closely at these pictures, every one of these pictures is not consistent with the photos he has on Facebook. These are a random group of pictures of some fun houses that have been for sale. Because if you look at the surroundings where this pinball machine is situated, you'll see different flooring, different areas. So that's another red flag. Usually if someone's trying to sell a pinball machine, those pictures are all going to be in the same room. So you'll be able to notice things like chairs or flooring or things in the background. So the first 2 pictures look like they were from the same area. And then everything else following that, the background is completely different. And sometimes the actual game is completely different too. He's just Googling Funhouse pinball machines, just shooting me random pictures to show that the game is working. Now, if you look closely, there'll be some telltale signs. Like on one of the pictures that the artwork, they had some sort of like pin blades inside artwork put in on one game, and in the other game it has completely different art, or some of them don't even have any art on the inside. So that's another giveaway that it's not the same game. But he did make a mistake and announce early in this that the game is in Tulsa. So that gives me an idea for later on in the video. So this next tactic I'm going to do is to test to see how well he knows his pinball machines. So I asked him to take a picture of the electronics in the back. Nope, that's not the back. You can also see in the inside art that's a completely different art sticker. Who knows, that might not even be a Funhouse underneath playfield shot either. So I'm going to ask him again. I'm going to be very vague. I'm going to say, can you take a picture of the computer in the back to see how well he knows his games? Another thing I was noticing in these pictures, if you look at the scorecard area, They're different games. You can see one of them has custom funhouse artwork. The other one has an euro 50 cents price on it to play. So now I'm going to try and guide him a little bit more by telling him to take pictures of the computer in the back to see if he catches that it's not a computer, it's a set of game boards. Well, that at least is a picture of the back box, but not the electronics. He's still sending me random gameplay videos from who knows where. So I ask him another couple of general questions like, does it have LEDs on it? And currently you can see in these videos that those are not LEDs. And then again, I ask him to take a picture of the back box electronics, still calling it a computer, to see if he catches it. So here's where I think I'm starting to tire him out, because he just cuts to the chase and says he needs that $300 deposit right now and the rest on pickup to hold the machine for you. And he says, oh yeah, it has LED. Shouldn't that be LEDs throughout? So now I'm going to find out how he accepts his payments. Most companies will take a credit card, check, PayPal, cash even. Zelle and Apple Pay, you have no recourse of getting your money back without a lot of legal issues. Because once you send it, it's gone. So I'm testing him here to see if he'll take a check. So of course he wants to be paid with Apple Pay or Zelle. Major red flag going off right now in my head. So I'm going to test him. And so I kind of fire this back on him, say, hey, I don't have those fancy apps for money payments anymore because I got scammed on my last attempt of buying a pinball machine. I told him I was scammed once already. Here's where he gets a bit mad, using the scammer word in the conversation here, because apparently Facebook is monitoring his page, and him being an honorable business, he doesn't want to get flagged for being a scammer. So he says $300 isn't worth our integrity. And then he says, hey, if you don't trust us over $300, then we don't need your business. So now I'm really going to put it to him. I'm going to say I have a friend that lives right down the street from his business, and I would be more than happy to have him go over there with the $300 in cash. You would think that would be an easy enough deal for somebody to do. A way to get a sale going. Now with these scammers, they don't have a game to sell at all, and they want to avoid at all costs you coming to their location. And if you were to send a payment of $300 to one of these scammers and attempt to go and get it, they will give you all sorts of excuses why you can't come to their store. Oh, maybe the game isn't at that location, or it's being worked on at a separate site. They will do everything to avoid you coming there. So by doing this, with taunting him with a deposit in cash, you would think he would want us to come over immediately to secure the sale. And then I even offer to come in tomorrow because I live 2 hours away and I could pay cash for the whole thing. So now he doesn't even say, hey, you can't come over here. Now he's got other people interested in a game that was never listed for sale, which is really funny because I just asked him about a random game. I'm going to tell him, hey, I'm serious. I'm going to show up in person with cash. And now he tells me I'm not serious. If I offer to have somebody to go to your location within 15-20 minutes with cash, I would think that's pretty darn serious. But again, they're doing everything to avoid you coming to their location. But now he's like, well, hey, if you sent the deposit, we would hold it. We don't need a third party. Sounds like you're playing games or something. Maybe you should buy from someone you trust. Well, that's for sure. But hey, I'm not really playing games with you. I just want to try and buy a pinball machine. And I'm offering to bring you the deposit in cash. And then this scammer goes on to say there's a lot of dishonest people out there. Hope you understand. Oh yeah, I understand that you're a dishonest person. And then I get to the point like, why don't you accept cash? And then I say it's my brother, because you can't deny family. And then I'll tell him that he can be there in like 15 minutes because, you know, Tulsa is a really small town. With cash, no less. So now, apparently the machine is already sold. After he said it was available, and he said check back in 2 weeks, there's going to be two. Two what? Two more machines? And I'm like, hey, I could have a deposit to you in 15 minutes. And now he wants a highest bidder to get it. So now apparently it's an auction, so the highest bidder will win the game. That's his ploy to get more money out of me. Now he's getting a lot of inquiries about this game, on a game he doesn't even have listed for sale. And now it's apparently sold. And I threw in the bidding scam word. He didn't really respond to that. And I said, hey, you gave me a price, $2,000 for this game. Now he apparently has the highest bidder. And then I kind of grill him like, well, you never had it listed, so how could you have bidders? And he's like, is the game worth just $2,000? Trying to get me to pay more for a game that isn't for sale. And then he goes, check our website. This is pretty funny. And then I'm like, you won't sell to me because I won't use the two non-recoupable forms of payment that I could never get my money back from. So he wants to check his website, which he has no link to on his page. So I'm going to ask him what his website is. And this should be really interesting. He said, not in this modern world. All payments are done online now. Then I'm going to grill him for his store address to see what he comes up with. So he just chose a random website that sells pinball machines. So let's take a look at the website and see what it says. The Pinball Company. I'm not sure if this is a real website or not. I tried calling and I didn't get an answer, but I did get a recorded message that said they were the Pinball Company. And notice his number on his Facebook page does not match the number on the website he gave me. And then I hit him with, why is this website a totally different business name than what this business is on Facebook here? And then I asked him, is this not Dan's Pinball Machines Marketplace that I'm talking to? And he says, oh, we're just getting started. I bet you are scamming people. And then he says, why? And let's learn about this company that he sent us a link to. Well, at least they've been in business since 2017 at least. He's like, why? I'm sure he's never even looked at the website, so I'm just going to tell him that that company's been in business for years. Now he says, oh, the website's updated. Updated to what? And then he's like, why all the questions? And I'm thinking, well, if I'm going to pay some guy I don't even know $2,000 for a pinball machine, I really need to know who I'm buying from and what I'm getting myself into. Scam or no scam? Oh, he says, oh, we're very straightforward. Really? So now he's really getting tired with me because he told me I lost the pinball machine, even though there wasn't one for sale anywhere on his page. And I was about to bust him for being a scammer. I had second thoughts. So I asked him what else he has for sale. Trying to keep this thing going because I'm sure he's getting tired of me because this has transpired in about an hour's worth of his time. I'm kind of condensing it down a little bit for the video. But he's reminding me, hey, you need to comply with our $300 scam or we won't do anything. And now he's saying trade. So I'm like, okay, where's your policy on this? Most businesses have a policy about payments. Let's see it. So let's look at the website he sent us under frequently asked questions. Oh, here's the thing. Where they're located. They're in St. Louis. What kind of payments do you accept? Oh, look, credit card, cash, in person, check, or bank wire. Interesting. So let's tell him, hey, your website that you sent me a link to, you accept cash as a form of payment and check. Oh, not anymore, really? Well, what's up with that? So now I'm going to be really nice and thank him for all of his kind info to give to me so I can make this wonderful video for everybody so they don't get scammed by idiots like this guy. Just to throw one little last insult out to him. The picture you see on your screen is my buddy Bobby, and he has an amazing game room. He lives not too far away from me, and I've known him for over 20 years. I shared this page with him And he was like, oh my God, what is this guy doing stealing my pictures? So I just wanted to give him a little mention saying, hey, he says hi, the one who bought your Cactus Canyon from you. Well, apparently he's a super good guy talking about my friend that never bought the pinball machine from you. So I try and get into a little more detail because he would know about the game room that Bobby has at his place. And this guy's just going along with it. So then I ask him how much are his Cactus Canyons. So he never gives me a price on the Cactus Canyon or that he has one for sale. Or even if it was out of stock and he's waiting on a new shipment, he probably has no idea what a Cactus Canyon is until someone asks him that they want to buy one from him. And then he reiterates his scam policy. So that's about as far as I got. If I was a new person at this or was really excited about buying a fun house, yeah, I might have rolled the dice and tried sending this guy $300. And the reality is you would never see that pinball machine. He would come up with excuses on why you couldn't pick it up or why it couldn't be delivered, or he might just disappear altogether. If he was a real seller and had some sort of showroom, he would have said, hey, come on down sometime. Here's our address. Come check out what we have in person. But he never once offered a location or encouraged me for any in-person type visit, even though I said I would be in town the next day. So I hope you guys got some value out of this. It was kind of fun messing with this guy. And if you're new to the hobby and you've had something similar happen to you, you might have gotten scammed for $300. That's how these guys are making their money, $300 at a time, by using app-based payments that you as a buyer have no recourse to get your money back. So if you're shopping online, especially on Facebook Marketplace or Instagram, and you see a new dealer selling pinball machines, really ask some hard questions and don't feel bad or uncomfortable asking, because if they start getting pissed and defensive, then you know that something's up. Or another thing you can do is ask them to do a Facebook Messenger video. That way you can see, hey, there's the machine. You're talking to the guy in real time. So that usually decreases the scam amount quite a bit because it's there. You know he has it, and it's not just some pictures he stole off of Google Images. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button, smash the bell, and keep flipping.